ready?
Yo, what's up, everybody? James Black here on another episode of the Turnbuckle Wrestling Podcast. As always, as your host, and alongside with me today, we have Biohazard. What's up, Bio?
What's up, James Black? How's it going?
Hanging in there. Just another beautiful night. And as always, we have a new man, finally to show up for his job since he wasn't able to make it to us yesterday. Paul Miller. What's up, Paul?
What's going on, guys?
As you know, we're all in different locations as always. Plus, we have one who's driving around, doing a little with deliveries, delivering some goodies, and then you have one walking back from work somewhere in South Philly. But as always, we're here to talk wrestling straight down the line. And one of the things I would definitely want to show you before we get into all our topics, the inspiration, which is the Iconics, are going to be showing up at Bounds of Glory on Impact for the pay-per-view. So it's great to see that two former WWE female tag teams are actually going to be able to do something. What do you guys think on that before we go and jump into our topics?
Maybe they'll get used this time.
We can only hope. What about you, Paul?
So I felt like they were actually over. They were really over in WWE. They just didn't know how to, they didn't know how to push them properly. Iconics was a great team. I really hope that, they have continued success in the other promotions. I really hope, since they're a part of Impact now, that they're going to be, that they could actually work for AEW and shit like that, because they are a force to be reckoned with. I really like them.
Definitely. So, without further ado, let's get into the elbow drop topics of the week. We have some AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage, which our very own Paul Miller was there at the show live at the Leocourt Center on Temple University's property. And then we had some WWE talk. We have the WWE with the Crown Jewel matches coming up, and the King of the Ring, and the first time ever, the Queen's Crown, which finally they're actually doing something for the women's, which is not a shocker for most of us, but at least they're trying to do something with the women's and giving them something with that. And it seems like we have a disagreement on that, but hold your thought there, Paul. We'll get to it once we get to WWE. Make sure you do follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Yes, we are on Twitter, and the ones who are watching on Twitter, hope you enjoy the show. And on Facebook, make sure you join our Facebook page, the Turnbuckle Wrestling Podcast, on the group and like. So, without further ado, we're going to go straight into the AEW talk from the show, from last week's show from AEW Dynamite, which I gotta say that show was amazing, even for being a anniversary show. So I want to try to bring up some of the matches that went on with that. The startup match was the Elite, the Super Elite, as they call them, going up against the Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. What was your opinion with that match on how it turned out with the results of the Elite winning?
So, I mean, it could have been either way to begin with. The whole match was, revolved around Vega and Brian. Yeah. So, so it was good. It wasn't the best match, because you take 4 men, lift up Luchasaurus and just botch the shit and then turn around and get out of it and being elite like that. Like the way the elite does the shit and actually owns up to botches, I respect that like crazy. But I went off tangent again. So the match itself, it was a good match. I didn't like the fact that Christian Cage really sold that. The fucking driver out the concrete, and he didn't come back. Everybody in the crowd thought that he was going to come back and save the match, and they would win, but obviously he did. But they did so as far as everybody attacking Jungle Boy at the end of the match to win. I felt like they really buried Jungle Boy at that point. Luchasaurus still looked strong. Bryan Danielson still looks strong. Christian Cage looked like a little bitch. But that's besides the point. Hey, it was what it was. It was the first match. Anything else?
Anything you had to say to that, Bio? Sorry, didn't realize my mic was mute.
I don't got no words. For once.
Wow. That's a first. Bio has nothing to say. Holy crap. Especially to the super kids elites.
Yeah. They're not even on my level.
Here we go.
Come on, they can't even survive probably not even 5 minutes in any type of form of fight with me. Matter of fact, how about this? Come down to the 2300. We'll bring it back to the old school and do a real South Philly street fight.
That'll be interesting.
Well, be prepared to get smacked with a light tube or two.
I can see that happening. So the next match that I went through was Sammy, the TNT Championship, was Sammy versus Bobby Fish, which we all know Bobby Fish. Originally, we know him from seeing him a lot on TV through WWE when he was the original member of the Undisputed. So,
great.
Bio, what did you think of that match?
To be honest, I didn't really get a chance to see it.
Oh.
Work's been kicking my rear end.
So, okay, let's go to Paul. Since Paul was live at the arena.
So Bobby Fish and Sammy Guevara had a really good match. I felt like, Sammy was put over by Bobby Fish in a very good way. But I still felt Bobby looked strong. That's why, he is signed now with AEW. It's going to be a great time with Bobby Fish in AEW. I really feel like things are going to start to click, quote unquote, with AEW. I feel like they just need 2 more members, and they will be undisputed. But yeah.
So you think that the Undisputed is going to come back?
Well, I mean, who knows? Roger Strong was telling us he's frustrated with SmackDown. I mean, with the NXT. So, yeah.
That would be interesting to see that happening.
I mean, of course, they won't be called the Undisputed Era there, copyright. But if his old teammates come and decide to, want to face the Elite, he might have a sort of undertaking there as far as who is his loyalty to more, being undisputed or being.
That would be interesting. I would say that would be interesting to see. That would be really interesting to see. But like we all say, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's why Adam Cole is. I'm biased. Biased towards Adam Cole. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. It is what it is. I don't give a shit.
True. So as we go along, we had Darby Allin versus Nick Camaroto, if I want to pronounce his name right. That match ended with Darby winning and Sting getting attacked from behind. Thought that he had him. Didn't. Sting got the attack back on him. Did a scorpion death drop to him. I don't know, Byro. Do you have any comments with this match, or should I take this straight to Paul?
Take it to Paul.
Alrighty, Paul.
So, I mean, it was kind of a short match for Darby himself. I'm glad that, they put Darby over because he really needed a win. Just so he can actually start looking strong again in the singles competition run. But I feel like the whole bullshit after the fucking match, didn't really necessarily need. It was what it was. And it was Sting, showing Sting. But other shit with Darby. Are we going to bring up the other shit with Darby? Are we going to do that now, or are we going to do that later?
We can do it now since Darby's up.
All right. So the other shit with Darby, as far as the masked attackers, everybody knew in the audience. Everybody fucking knew it was, and everybody else like that. Everybody fucking knew that. Like, it was like written on everybody's faces. Everybody knew that Warlow did the fucking F10 on the Day of Steel Grace. It was. But everybody was expecting MJF to come out and cuss everybody the fuck out in the crowd. Like, everybody was expecting that. Like, we would have gave him a big ass pop. But he didn't show up. He didn't show up. Dynamite or Rampage. That's what I think everybody in the crowd was pissed off about. But wait till later. I have more shit to say.
Oh boy! It looks like Paul maybe bringing out his other side. It seems like he's getting a little crazy here, don't you think, Bio?
Well, to be honest, MJF was there because he was one of the guys dressed up.
Yeah,
no one ever
took the skateboard.
And Shawn Spears was the first one to attack Darby. Because as soon as he turned around, the camera got dead at his eyes. And I was like, really? Can you make it more obvious? And what are you trying to prove anyway? I mean, didn't the Inner Circle already demolishes pretty much? So
Right.
now you got to go focus on Darby Allin and Sting for what? What for? What? They don't got no tag. They don't got no gold around their waist.
No.
So what are you trying to do? Make a statement? When if you are trying to make a statement, then what kind of statement are you trying to make?
They could beat an old man and a lunatic.
And you know what I say? I see the Pinnacle as bullies. Well, guess what? I am the original bully. I'm the one who bullies the bully. So if they want to play bully, well, come and play bully with me because I definitely love the bully back. And I don't have a problem with maybe one time getting my partner to come out for one last time.
Well, one thing I'll definitely say, that night they showed off a brand new title for AEW, which is the AEW TBS Championship, which is for the women's division, which will be holding a tournament, which they already have a few names going in already, which they announced on Friday night at Rampage. They already have Sky Blue, which I know is one of them. And Paul, who were the other two? I know one of them was Rosa, and who was the other one?
So the Sky Blue said Rosa.
I know it was like Jackson. Her last name was Jackson.
Yes, and I believe Ruby Soho was part of it.
Yes, and Ruby Soho. And I think they're going to. I think there's going to be more. I think they may add a few others. Maybe adding. I know Britt Baker will not be part of this tournament due to the fact that she is the already the champion. I think they may add Rebel or Ruby, whoever.
I think Bunny's going to be a part of it too.
And I think Conti as well, Ty Conti.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of space opening up for them to do it. But it's going to be very interesting. But we'll see how everything will go with that. So then it led into the match of, if I remember correctly, Shada versus Debbie, which was Shada's 50th. If she won, it would have been her 50th win, which she did win.
Everybody, so that match right there, everybody was like, "Oh well, she's gonna fucking win." No, they said swerve. It was actually pretty fucking decent. Like the match, like it was a near fall after near fall after near fall after near fall. I was like, everybody was on the fucking energy. Like they weren't really invested in the beginning, but as the matches kept getting better and better and better and better, I was like, "Oh fuck, is she actually gonna win?" Yo! Like the whole fucking crowd was electric. And then when the fucking count was 3, the aftermath, and just threw the fucking trophy in her fucking face and it shattered. It was crazy. It was so fucking good.
Yeah, that match was. I'm like, yes, I'll say this. I did not watch it live. I had to catch up with it due to the fact that I was then busy with my job and busy with everything else. But it was a really good. It was one of the best matches out there. Then it led into the casino ladder match.
Yeah.
Which I had to say, my guess is the Joker card. And I know Bios guesses the Joker card. We were wrong. Before that night, Paul, when you went to the show, who did you thought was the Joker card?
Hangman.
You thought it was Hangman?
Everybody in the fucking stadium was like, "It's Hangman." Every fucking buddy, and you know, everybody felt it in the air. Like everyone was like, knew it was going to be Hangman because that everybody was like, AEW needs to pull this fucking trigger. AEW really needs to pull this fucking trigger and having, Hangman versus fucking Omega. Like it was needed to be done, and it's going to be done. Like it's going to be great.
What do you think about that? With having
to be
Hangman
honest,
beat that
it threw
Joker card.
me off. It threw me off. But in a way, like Paul said, AEW had to pull that trigger eventually. I mean, I knew Hangman was coming back. Just did not know he was coming back like that and that soon. But for him to come out the way he did, he came out with a 12-gauge, like he was a 12-gauge shotgun, and he was hitting everybody with buckshots.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that man deserved everything that came his way that night.
I have to say, even near the end, how he came back in that entrance, he came back like he did some magic trick. How he was able to jump right back into the ring with no issue and land the move, climb the ladder, and get that hooker chip to become the number one contender.
Well, I am going to say this, Omega, you better hope and pray you don't get hit with that buckshot. Because he's going to try to take your head off.
Think about this one. They better hope he don't get hit with the One-Winged Angel. Only because the One-Winged Angel hasn't been kicked out of in 12 years.
Damn. What was that bio? Sorry.
One-Winged Angel.
Uh-oh. Paul froze for a little bit. A little technical difficulties with Paul.
It's cool. We know he's delivering.
There he goes. Now Miller's back. It's Miller time.
But I got one thing. What's everybody think about Christopher Daniels returning?
Oh yeah, Christopher Daniels returning to Impact. Paul, what do you think about that?
I didn't hear anything. I kind of lost y'all.
What do you think about Christopher Daniels coming back to Impact?
Oh, well, I'm excited. I'm really excited about Christopher Daniels coming back to Impact. Like I was there when Christopher. I was there in the town theater. He was there, and him and Pee Wee Williams were a thing. Like it was great. Like when it was actually Impact in their heyday. Like I fucking love Christopher Daniels. Like he was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up when I was watching Impact.
See, I go back with Christopher Daniels with ROH and Frankie Kazarian, and he is good in the ring. And I think this new character that same old self, but with a better attitude, he's got it. And I got a funny feeling that he's going to eventually come back for revenge and get his revenge on the Elite. And that's when he's going to form with Kazarian. And I can see with Kingston and Moxley and whoever else taking out the Elite.
Yeah, it's a lot you can process with, even with him coming back. Can you imagine if they do this right? Because with Christian Cage as the Impact World Heavyweight Champion, can you imagine with him and Daniels go after the Elite?
Yeah, and that would be hot. Because to be honest, the Elite is getting pushed way too much. It seems like now the Elite, the Young Bucks and all them, they want that spotlight. So it's like they were all about giving it to the younger talent. Now they're all about me, me, me. Well, I think it's time for the Elite to get an ass whooping and shown that they're not the only guys in the business either.
That's true. So, as we went on to Rampage, which I know Paul didn't give any secrets out on that one. He didn't post anything, which is that's actually pretty good and hard.
I don't post spoilers like that. That's just what it was.
So you had CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia, with Punk winning by submission. I want to make sure, Bio, you did see the Rampage matches, correct?
Some. It all depends which ones we're talking about. Like the CM Punk one, no.
Okay, Paul, what's your opinion with that match?
So the setup with this, when Punk was talking on Dynamite, and he was saying, like, the Philly crowd just went nuts because everybody knew he was coming. Everybody knew he was going to be there. So, when he said, well, I got a gift for y'all. Like, would y'all rather me buy y'all all a cheesesteak, or would y'all rather see me wrestle? Like, that shit was fucking phenomenal. Everybody's like, wrestle. And he's like, well, the eyes have it. And then, we waited, a couple hours and then got to see him wrestle. Like, it was great. It was so great. Like, my first fucking Punk match in 11 years. 11 years. That was my first Punk match in 11 years. Live. It was phenomenal. I loved every minute of it. Yeah, sure, it wasn't his best match, but it was great. I'm glad he's back. And I just want to kill everybody who's left the fucking stadium after that match.
What about him actually? I love with the teaser with him saying, "Do you want cheese sticks or one more match or me to wrestle in Philly?" And then him yelling out saying, "You can buy your own damn cheesesteaks."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, it was great.
Like, with Punk, like, one thing I didn't know, like, I didn't realize when he did that segment that he actually lived not too far from the Leo Course Center.
Yeah.
And actually trained.
Yeah.
He was a training instructor in Philly.
Yep. He did his own school.
I did not know that. Like, that was like shocking. I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, I didn't realize he actually was around here. I didn't know that. I love that he made a mistake. Wait, is it cheesecake or cheesesteak?
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
But the thing I gotta say though, right now with Punk, I never seen Punk as happy in a long time as he is now.
Oh yeah,
it feels like he's back into his own element, and he could be who he was meant to be. Like you said, that wasn't one of his best matches, but he still went out there like, oh shit, no matter what, I'm going to kick your ass regardless.
Right. And one thing too is with that, I want to bring it up because I know right now we're talking about Rampage, but the one thing I know we don't really talk about the dark match, the AEW Dark, but a special guest came through onto AEW, which is he is from Philly, is the Blue Meanie. I know Paul can definitely said he showed up.
I loved it. It was great. I got to shake his hand. It was awesome.
Which down the line with the Blue Meanie, he runs the MWL, which is Major League Wrestling, which they've been filming at the 2300 Arena. And they're supposed to be doing other shows outside of Philly as well, but they used to be affiliated with WWE with the network. Ever since WWE lost the network, they actually jumped off, and now they're on Vice TV, which any of y'all have Vice, you can check the MWL on Vice. So, as we continue along with the AEW, you had the Lucha Brothers versus the Acclaim. God, I wasn't expecting the Acclaim to actually, I don't know, bust on Philly that much. I wasn't expecting that. That rap they did, wow.
Let me ask you a question, because you were watching it at home.
Yes.
How much did they like tone down the crowd?
It was booing, but it wasn't as loud.
Oh no. There was no booze.
It sounded like it was a little bit of booze on TV.
There was no booze. They were all chanting, "Fuck Ben Simmons."
Really?
It was phenomenally funny. The whole stadium was like, when the moment they said fuck, when the moment they were talking about Ben Simmons, the whole crowd was like, "Fuck Ben Simmons!" Like, it was fucking hilarious. I loved it.
My God. It tells you where the city of brotherly love really feels about their people, huh?
Fucking asshole.
If we
I
don't
am
like
a Philadelphia fan, but I can say this right now. I know I'm not wearing a Flyers shirt. I'm not wearing any Philadelphia gear. I'm actually wearing my Kings because hockey did start this season. But we'll leave it at that. But the match with the Lucha Brothers and the Acclaim. Lucha Brothers came on top to win it, to reclaim their title.
Go Lucha Brothers.
But just happy as hell. Bio, did you see this match?
Some of it, but not all of it.
What was your opinion? The parts that you've seen.
Basically, I mean, the parts that I've seen, I mean, they were pretty good, though. I mean, there were some spots that the other team messed up on, but other than that, it was a pretty good match.
Paul?
So, I kind of felt like it should have been a squash match, but it wasn't, and I'm glad it wasn't because they really surprised the hell out of me with the athleticism and everything else was put on just for a Rampage show. Like I felt like he was really giving Philadelphia a show, Tony Khan and whatnot. I really feel like they're putting their heart and soul in everything that they do with this company. Like I really feel like this is going to take a good turn.
Yeah, I got to say the match. I thought the match was really good, and I love it. They carried out with both titles, the AEW title and the AAA tag team titles as well.
Yeah.
Which we'll be talking about it for next week's Dynamite, which they are putting those titles up against Andrade. And whoever his partner will be, I'm questioning who it will be, but we all know, and it can be anyone. Well, once we get there, we'll talk about who we think it might be. But as the match show went on, we had what was it? Sky Blue versus Jade. That was her name. Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
Which Cargill did win.
And fucking, 2-minute match that was a squash. Like I felt like Sky Blue should have had fucking a better match, but the way they it's portraying Jade as an unstoppable force. I mean, it is what it is. Like I feel like that they might be pushing her to be the TBS champion, but who knows?
What about you, Bio?
I can see the same thing happening, but then again, we never know because, like they say, cards is always due to change.
That is true. It's true. It's damn true. But
change.
But that's the only thing is when you start saying being the unstoppable force, it sounds like they're trying to make her almost the China of AEW on how she's built and how she wrestles. it reminds like I started watching a lot of the Rhodes reality show and how it's like the backstage of it where they talked about the Smackdown was heard across the world when she smacked what's her name from we called Velvet from Velvet, Red Velvet, across the face. And she said that, well, a woman my structure, she should get used to that. I have a heavy smack. But even in the company bio, even you can say, even Brandy said it, you're not supposed to hit that hard.
No.
You're supposed to make it to where that it sounds like it was hard, but it wasn't. But she did leave a handprint on her face, as they said, for Red Velvet when it was back down in Jacksonville.
But see, it also goes with it's up to the performer too. If the performer is willing to take a full smack, then you need to be prepared. So, like, if I tell you, James Black, I want you to fully smack me, that means you fully smack me. So if you wind up knocking my lights out, that's on me because I'm the one who went and was okay with it. So if she left that handprint, that she knew what she was getting into in the first place.
Well,
but still, when you were a big, but if you're a big person like that and you got like muscle behind you that packs weight, you need to cut it down so much. Because if not, you can kill that person. You can stop their heart by a chest chop or a right blow to a nice blow to the head could cause them to have a seizure or whatever.
Right. But I I agree with most of it. The match should have been a little bit. It should have been at least maybe it was a squash match. It should have just been one hit done, or it should have been at least a decent match where that giving Sky a chance to show her talent and show her who she really is. Like maybe she can stand up with the women who are a lot stronger or maybe a lot bigger than she is. To where that, at least trying to make her into almost like a somewhat of a superhero, but we all know it all depends on how business wants to run it. But to go through the last match, it was the main event match. It was a Philly street fight with Ricky Stark and Brian Cage for the FTW title, which is the only title that made it big in Philadelphia, even though it was created in Brooklyn, but it is well known in Philadelphia at the original 2300 Arena when ECW was still around. Mm-hmm. So with that match, Brian Stark did win it with some help from Team Taz, as Taz was literally shitting a brick on commentary.
Yeah.
Come on, win. Come on, help him out. Team Hobbs and whoever, I forget the kid's name, get down, help him out. So it looks like
I really don't hear commentary, so I really wouldn't know.
But I think Cage should have won this. Brian Cage had that match. But Paul, lighten us with your wisdom with this match.
So I felt like it was bullshit. I felt like they're pushing fucking Tony. I felt like they're pushing fucking Starks to the fucking moon, and now they're not gonna know what to fucking do with them. I really feel like they shouldn't be doing this. I really felt like Brian Cage should have won. Even though Brian Cage is threatening to leave, quote unquote, that's just the fucking rumors going around. But I don't think he's going to be, because he's going to be fucking smothered as far as, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, I really feel like he's not going to go anywhere. But as far as the street fight match goes, I mean, I felt like there was a good spot with the whole trash cans and whatnot, but as far as Hobbs, the other fucking asshole involved, it's a whole fucking part of the match. It was what it was. Like, I really felt like Brian Cage needed somebody in his corner, and I really feel like he's probably going to get somebody in his corner. I don't know who, but just to back him up, because I don't feel like this feud is done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, just because of how they ended it. How fucking Taz is like, oh, well, I'll survive if I let his bullshit catchphrase, and Brian Cage is like, oh, no, this isn't finished. At least that's what he said in the live crowd. I don't know if you actually saw that shit in the TV, but he mouthed it like, we're not finished. And whatnot. So, it was what it was.
Well, Bio, what you got to say?
I thought there was only one Tony Stark, really, one Iron Man. But definitely, that like all the weapon on all the spots were dead on. They were perfect, executed well. But the whole, like Paul said, the whole thing of getting the other guys in, kind of, I ain't gonna lie, you made yourself look like a little damn bitch. Now, if you would have just, if Ricky Starks would have took the win, just to win without no help, then yeah, that would have been a good match. But if you're going to need your boys to help you, then you're a bitch. Then you don't deserve that title. And to be honest, Taz, how stupid you going to give someone and let a little cheap punk like that represent a title that has history behind? Matter of fact, Philly made that history. Philly made your title history. If it wasn't for Philly, there wouldn't have been wrestling. And Taz, that's where you came from. Originally, the home, the birth of ECW was the 2300 Arena.
True. And one thing that they showed that I know Paul's seen it live, and I saw it through YouTube later on with the show, that they had Tony Khan came out to the ring and called out a few original ECW members. He had Taz, Jericho, Dean Malenko, and what was his name?
Jerry Lynn.
They had Jerry Lynn come down, but they had a little surprise appearance that Jericho got caught off guard coming down to the ring with CM Punk, saying that he felt offended that he did not get called down here since he was ECW champion before. But he said he felt a little offended, but he said, I did want to say it and bring it out. No offense to give Dean Malenko or Jerry Lynn their moment out in the ring again, but he was ECW champion.
I mean, my thing, I loved it. It was nice. And he did it, and the way Punk did it was out of respect all through.
Mm-hmm.
He cracked up. He said what he had to say. Yeah, well, I feel kind of offended, but he spoke as a man, turned it into a joke, gave the show back over, and walked away. Which you don't see a lot of performers doing that. And when you got a performer like that, that tells you how much they love the business. You know what? I'm going to go out and get the last final pop. That's me. But I'm going to get the show back. But to see one of my trainers, yes, someone that I got trained by for a few, Jerry Lynn, was phenomenal to see him in an AEW ring.
We just lost the Biohazard. I think his phone died. I think he was using. So hopefully he should be back. He may be running in to getting his laptop. Hopefully. But I gotta say that what they did with like you said, it was great that they gave him the honor. Even with Dean Malenko, I love it. The man with many holds, but a few words just said.
Oh my god, did he fucking have few words?
Just not much. It was just like what, 3 or 4 words. That's it.
Pretty fucking much. Like it was like so. This was Tony Khan's second appearance all night, mind you.
Second appearance. So
Okay.
he came out earlier in the show to thank everybody and whatnot. This is untelevised. Like he was coming out thanking everybody, and he was telling a story about how, you know, he always wanted to be in, you know, Philly, and always wanted to watch wrestling in Philly. And he grew up he when he was 13 years old, he all he wanted to do. He said Philadelphia is the greatest wrestling city in the world. His words. His words. He said and so it got the crowd really fucking pumped because he came out in mid show, and then he's like, stick around for my thank you message and everything else like that. And oh my goodness, it was great. I don't want to every minute of it. Like it was, I didn't think that they were going to record it, but they did, and they put it on fucking they put it on YouTube. Like it was great. Like I really enjoyed every bit of it. God bless Tony Khan. God bless him. Like he was amazing. I really respect that man. And happy late birthday to him, by the way.
I have to tell you this with Paul, when you talk about with Ricky Stark. If you haven't started watching The Rhodes, you may want to start watching it. Rhodes even said it with Khan that he is the future of AEW due to the fact that when he got injured and fractured his neck, at that point when he was with Team Taz, he kind of said he is the future. Like he's going to be one of the guys actually going to push AEW. So even with him with the FTW title right now, he may be getting pushed to become maybe AEW at some point.
Okay.
So at least that way, because they talked about him, plus even Rhodes said it, he is the future of AEW. He is a young talent coming up in the business, and he's pretty much going to be the future.
Well, that still doesn't change my opinion.
Understandable. And we keep losing Bio. Bio keeps going in and out.
Yeah.
He's contaging himself. But we're going to be continuing as we continue along, as I know he's going to keep popping in and out. I understand your phone doesn't want to work. Your phone is not working right with you today, Bio.
No, and it's peeing me off.
As I said, it seems like you, with who you are, biohazard. It seems like you're contaminating your phone a little bit with bio.
Smile.
Say cheese. But we're not gonna. Hey, there's a biohazard. So we're not going to go into the next week's matches yet. We're going to go straight into the WWE with talking about what they put together is the King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown, which so far they already had the 4 matches already done with it. I'll bring up the bracket. You had Sami Zayn beating Rey Mysterio. You had Cesaro's losing to Finn Balor. You had Mahal beating Kofi and Woods beating Ricochet on his birthday, which happy birthday, belated birthday, Ricochet. Sorry you lost, but I don't see you win. I couldn't see you winning the title, winning the crown, the King of the Ring crown. But anyway, so as it's going on, Bio, what do you think? What's your prediction with this? How it's going on? Because it almost became a New Day competing for the crown, which could have hurt them if that happened.
What could hurt the New Day?
Yeah.
How? I mean, to be honest, give me your point of view. How when they would hurt them?
If Kofi won, it could have put a damper on their friendship or battle, even if they say it was an all non-disclosal. It was all shake hands to hands. But it's like they said when it came down with the Dudleys, when they had to verse each other, it put a damper on their friendship. It put a damper on them being a tag team. But if that happened, would you think it would have put a damper on?
I mean, it could. I mean, I can see it happening because look at me and my partner with certain things. But that's for another thing later on down the line. Yeah, but it could hurt that if it went that route. But then again, look what they all been through anyway, especially being separated.
Right.
I mean, by being separated, they could have went off and did their own thing and dropped the whole New Day gimmick could have dropped. But no, them three said it no matter what, whatever brand we're on, we're going to still continue to pop this. And I'm sorry, I love the New Day. And to be honest, I'm glad that Kofi didn't win it because I do want to see Xavier. He's well deserved, and he needs to be pushed.
What about you, Paul?
Excuse me. I don't like the fact that they pushed Sami Zayn, even though he's a great wrestler. I just don't like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the match between Finn and Cesaro was great, but Finn, like, if they were going to push Finn, they should have just gave him the fuck. So I don't feel like Finn's going to go anywhere.
Okay.
In the tournament. The whole thing with Kofi, I feel like that if Kofi won, then, Kofi won. And then there would have been mano a mano as far as Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been so my point of view on that whole thing was if Woods and Kofi were to have a match together, it would have been non-story, non-beef, just mano a mano, just go at it. Like there would be no feud, there would be no nothing. It would just be friends, beating the fucking shit out of each other for a crown. It wouldn't have affected their friendship because, Kofi winning the WWE title didn't affect their friendship. Big E winning the WWE title didn't affect their friendship. Nothing affects their friendship because they're that strong together. It is what it is. They're like, so if I lose this match, all right, well, I'm going to support you anyway, regardless of the fact.
Right.
I felt like, I don't know why they fucking said, oh, we're going to make Jinder win this match. Because Jinder is fucking nothing right now. Like, why are you making him, win this fucking match? Because he's, no one wants him. He's still a fucking jobber, even though he held the fucking WWE champion. Everybody still sees him as a jobber, regardless of the fact. He's no fucking main eventer. Like, come on now, stop it.
What are you talking about, Jinder Mahal?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a washed up bitch.
So, I mean, my only thing is, if Finn does not fucking win against Sammy, I'm going to be mad as fuck. I will be pissed off, and I will be very vocal on Twitter about this shit because I don't feel like Sammy needs to be pushed this fucking hard. As far as going into the finals and him and Woods going at it, I don't want to see that. I want to see Woods and Finn. That is a match I want to see.
Woods and Finn would be great at Crown Jewel. Like, that would be phenomenal. Two short people with amazing athletic ability. Oh, it would just be another indie show to me. Like, it would be so phenomenal.
Right, that actually would be a really good match.
That will write itself.
Pretty much.
That would be just a match written itself, because they can write a match without even discussing anything.
Right. Even with that, like, how come, like, you can even turn Finn into the Demon King at that point if you wanted to.
No, yeah, but I think with the Demon King, it's not suitable. Because why I think it's not suitable is because Xavier is not that person that he has to bring up the Demon King for.
Right.
That is where he can actually give a fair share, a fair doing as Finn Balor and Xavier Woods. Now, if it was like any other person in there, then I say use the Demon King because he's already going against them. He's never really went against Xavier.
What would you think if, let's say, Finn wins, he becomes King Balor? What would you think of him actually using the Demon King persona as his king, as the king of the ring?
Nah, I don't like it.
No, because he's already known as the Demon King.
Right.
As the Demon King. Well, if you turn around and he does win it and comes King Balor, that kind of brings a little ringing of might be coming around the corner.
You're thinking of you're thinking about the Balor Club, WWE's version, or as what WWE version would be the Bullet Club. That would be interesting.
But then again, card is always due to change.
True. Then we're going to get into it. I want to say this before we get to there, since we know how it is. We all agree. Like, I say the same thing, who I think it should be going in. I think it should be Balor and Woods. But how would you want the match to turn out? I know it makes it harder because they're both fan favorites, even with Woods, and Woods deserves a lot that he's been through. I'll give our opinion. Start with Paul. Who do you have winning the whole bracket?
I have Woods. Winning everything. You know, I feel like Woods deserves it, and he needs to. He needs to get pushed, and I really want Woods. And he was the one. He was the one who, you know, was the one pushing for the King of the Ring tournament to come back. He was the main one. He was like, we need this to come back. We need this to come back. We need this to come back. So I feel like he needs it.
What about you, Bio?
I was with Woods all the way through, and I'm still going to be with Woods all the way through because, again, Paul already said it. He needs it. It's been way, way overdue for him. And just getting the name King Woods will lead him eventually down the line to a Universal title shot or a WWE title shot.
True. And I agree with the same thing. Woods does deserve this title range. And I can see him because you know how he is. He's big with anime. He loves Dragon Ball Z. How he shows it off with different types of way, wearing it with animation, and even coming off with the cosplay with a lot of the other people. Like even maybe him pulling off the Green Ranger maybe as the what actor he turns into after he goes evil, and that's where Woods may turn heel as the king.
Nah, he's not gonna be heel king.
No, he's definitely no. It will. I mean, if he wasn't with New Day, then yeah, that would be nice to see him do. But since he's with New Day and he's all about the good and positivity, I don't see him changing. He
Even
might
though
be
New Day in the beginning was never positivity. In the beginning.
but they got their point across.
True.
They got liked.
That is true. So as we continue to trug along, we have the Queen's Crown, which 4 matches already happened with there. You had Vega beating Toni Storm. You had Carmella beating Liv. You had Doudrop defeating Natalya. And Shayna Baszler defeating Brooke. Which, that Shayna Baszler, we already should have known that she was going to take out Brooke after Doudrop helped her before she got her arm broken. But I gotta say, I don't think Vega should have won. To be honest, with my opinion, I think it should have been either pushing Toni, because they've been trying to push Toni a little more with her abilities in the ring, and then actually trying to push her being a main eventer as one of the top women's wrestlers. It would have been a better storyline if they did that, or even or if they didn't have Toni win, trying to push Liv Morgan, which they're trying to revamp Liv Morgan apparently into something else. But get your guys' opinions on this one, Pio.
But on
the Queen's Crown so far.
I mean, Doudrop and all that, she's new. And she hasn't really had that many matches yet. So for her to get put into something like this, it wasn't ready. Like you said, it should have been like someone who actually deserves that.
Right.
And Vega too. But Vega also needs a push. Carmella also needs somewhat of a push. But Baszler, I mean, she, after re-looking at it, what pushes does she need?
She's already a 2-time NXT Women's Champion, and she was close enough to where she was almost held the Raw or SmackDown Women's title as well.
And wasn't she tag partners with Naya?
Yes, she was.
And they were the tag champs.
Yep.
So, I mean, it should be new people running for that. I'm just glad I'm not seeing Charlotte in it.
Thank God.
Because I'm being honest, if Charlotte was in that, that would have been fully it. I would never watch another WWE episode ever again.
Paul, what do you think?
Complete and utter bullshit. That's what it was. Toni Storm should have fucking won that match. Fuck Zelina Vega. You know, like I don't feel like she needs a fucking push. I feel like she's just a fucking, sellout who wanted just to be back with the fucking company. After fucking, pushing fucking unionization and then fucking going back on her word. Fuck that. She should have just went to AEW with her fucking, boyfriend and whatnot. Like, I don't feel like she should have came back. Carmella, fuck her too. Like, she had her fucking shot. You're not a main eventer anymore. Go fuck yourself. Liv Morgan is getting should be pushed to the fucking moon right now. She is one of the best wrestlers on that female roster. Plain and simple fact. I don't see what the fuck they're doing here. As far as Doudrop goes, there's a storyline there. as far as her and Shayna, it is what it is. But Shayna should fucking win this fucking thing hands down because of her experience. That's just how it was. Like, Shayna should be fucking pushed to the fucking moon, just like a certain other MMA person was, who was also part of the Four Horsewomen.
And was Raw Women's Champion.
So, that being said, and Shayna whooped her ass in the fucking octagon. Just saying. Like, they've always fucking done Shayna dirty ever since the fucking call-up. Always fucking done Shayna dirty. Like, there's no if, ands, buts about it. Like, Shayna should be fucking on top. And that's just how it is. Like, her breaking up with fucking Nia Jax needed to fucking happen. Like, fuck that bullshit. They should have never been tag team partners to begin with. Nia Jax is a fucking cancer and doesn't deserve anything in that company. She pretty much hurts whoever the fuck she steps in a ring with. Plain and simple.
I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nia she can fulfill certain duties in the ring. But her ring work is not good. It's not. She can't keep up with anybody, really. I mean, I'm not saying because she's a big girl, but I don't think she's got the athletic in her. Because I've seen big girls can run the ropes and fly over the ropes with no problem. It's just that she lacks the athletic.
Do you think the only reason why she got in is because of the fact that she's related to The Rock?
In a way, yes. But if that's the case, then that means that shows how desperate WWE is going to get. You're bringing in people that ain't really cut for the ring. You could have used Nia for a lot of other things. You could have used her as a valet.
I would have said she would have been pretty good at, like, it's going to be like a valet, like maybe like a bouncer or something like that. But she would have been really good as a bodyguard, to where that she can actually be. How about like what she did with Alexa Bliss, where if someone bigger than Alexa had to come to the ring, she had her defending her and taking out her competition.
Exactly.
But I'll say that's up to you guys' opinion, because it seems like Paul already got his prediction in, who he has winning. Who do you have winning, Bio?
On what?
On the Queen's Crown.
To be honest, I mean, I don't want to say it, but I got Carmella.
Why?
Well, one, I mean, yeah, even though she used James Ellsworth to get the briefcase, but that was the best play because it's never been done, and she was the first diva at that time to do it. So, which was smart, and not she did it once, she did it twice. Go ahead. I know you want to say something. What do you want to say, Paul? Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying a word.
Wow,
Continue.
You're not going to say nothing? Wow, what, is the cat got your tongue?
Continue.
But I see Carmella.
Every man is entitled to his opinion, whether they be wrong or not.
Damn.
Come on, bring it out, then. What's your opinion, then?
Oh, you have my opinion. She's trash, and she deserves to be trash.
Damn. So, as you said, Paul, you have Shayna winning.
Yes.
From me, with everything how it's going along and how everything looks, and I'm like, I think right off the bat, I think it's either going to be one or two, but I think it's going to be. I think I can see Vega maybe getting that push as the winning, or if you're going to look at how the world is and what WWE is trying to push, I see maybe Doudrop winning the Queen's Crown. I don't think outside of the box, I go with the underdog.
Good, valid point.
Because if you think about it, it's since WWE has been trying to enforce like how Nia Jax is a big girl, then now you had Doudrop, who is a big girl, trying to show that it doesn't matter who you are, how you look, how many limbs you have, what color you are, and everything else, that you can be whatever you want to be. And having Doudrop winning the Queen's first ever Queen's Crown, well, statement that any girl can win it. Any girl can become whatever they want.
Now, let me interject.
Okay.
You seem
I'm all ears.
to forget who's running the show. It's not Triple H. It's Vince McMahon. And he has a certain female he always picks.
That is true. It's always the looks that he picks by and the determination.
Okay, and who's got the hotter looks?
Shut up.
Who's going to turn around and get Vince started? Yeah,
and it's one of the two. It's one of the two. It's Carmella or it's Vega.
He ain't going to go after Vega. You think he wants to deal with Aleister Black?
Sorry, change his name. Remember, you know how some of these guys are. He won't only go Aleister Black.
All right, well, Minister Black.
Malachi
Black.
Well, Malachi Black, he had all different ones, so.
I know.
But Malachi Black, you think Vince is going to want to get his head literally kicked off? Because to be honest, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting in the ring with him, but I'm not getting in the ring or having him personally kill me because of his wife or girlfriend or fiance or whatever. So it's Carmella.
And having her boyfriend as commentator as well on Raw. Even though the funny thing is he doesn't really talk that highly about her on commentary, but he mainly talks about when she was on Raw, Mandy Rose.
Oh.
Highly.
Or wait, maybe Vince might be into big girls, which, hey, big girls need loving too. Hey, he might be having his eye on Doudrop. Yeah, come on.
What is this like? Maybe maybe Vince is going this route. What happens? Maybe he's going through this route because of the fact that maybe Stephanie is finally pushing a little bit more. Because even Stephanie said that she's been trying to push other wrestlers into becoming more than that meets the eye, to where they're trying to make the female demographic more to them.
Well, basically what I see Stephanie doing, it was like the whole talk with the whole Space Jam. Mm-hmm. What they did with Lola. Yeah, why? Lola had a nice physique and all that. She was might as well say a tomboy. What is wrong for you to look beautiful and sexy and all that and want to go out and play sports?
It's like watching back in the Attitude Era all over again.
And it's showing that it does not matter. You could be a big girl. A big girl could be a wrestler. A big girl could be whatever she wants to be. Don't let no one put you down. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe Vince is actually starting to see the light and starting to realize, wait, it's just not men who can do this too. Women can also put on a hell of a match or whatever.
That brings up with AEW with Nyla Rose, where AEW gave her a chance, even though she's from formerly a male, but she's right through
Not
as
no
a
more.
female, but they gave her a chance.
She's no longer a male.
Oh, I know. That's why I said formerly a male.
And that's the thing. And look what WWE did. She was on WWE, and when he came out that announced it that he was gay, he would know that WWE got rid of him, like they got rid of Shelton Benjamin.
No, Benjamin's still there. You mean what's his name?
No, Shelton Benjamin was let go too, but they just recently, because on the simple fact is that gay pride and all that said that it wasn't right.
There's someone else that he came out. He was with Titus O'Neil.
Darren Young.
Yes.
He was another one. But they brung Shelton back. But Shelton's gay.
I did not know that. Any opinions from you, Paul, that we're talking about?
I'm good.
I mean, my thing is, I don't care what you are. I don't care what you like. If you're good in the ring, I'm gonna give you your props. If I don't like how you perform in the ring, I'm gonna tell you, yo, you suck. You don't need to wrestle. Yo, that was a hell of a match. You did good. I don't care what you like, what gender or whatever. If you're putting on a show for me as for a fan, to a fan, I'll give you your goods and your bad. And that's
Exactly.
one thing I hate was when the people try to use the color and sex. What's the point? Everybody could do it if they got the mind, the heart for it.
True. So, as I'm going to continue with the WWE before we go back to the AEW, talk about the matches coming up this week. Crown Jewel is almost around the corner. It's a week from on Thursday, which is going to be at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming on Peacock, which, you know, Vince McMahon loves the Peacock.
That is going to be fucking hilarious. There's probably going to be audio issues. There's probably going to be video issues. Oh my goodness. So get yourself a VPN and try and stream it from the network.
Hold on, what? Crown Jewel?
Oh yeah, it's going to be fucking hilarious.
Listen, I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm just going to wait and go YouTube highlights.
But even with that, I'll bring up that maybe how the technical difficulty is going to be like. If you watch the first TNT NHL game, it's going to be like that. The audio sucked. The video was very crappy. They had the scoreboard up here, and all of a sudden it split to where you get the scoreboard down here, a missing black bar, and then the event going on top. Or they had it to where that they showed the aerial view of the ice.
Well, I mean, they had what was it? SummerSlam or whatever. That they fucking had the Spanish announce team and the English people talking at the same time. Like, what the fuck is going on, Peacock?
Now,
like,
here's my thing.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I could be argued against it, but WWE needs this. They need Crown Jewel. They need Crown Jewel to be a hit, because if not, that's it. There's not even WrestleMania wouldn't even be able to save them anymore. They need Crown Jewel.
Well, so here's the thing, though. Here's the really thing, though. So this Friday, I think, this Friday is the Super Friday.
Yes, on Fox Sports 1.
Where they're going in direct competition with Rampage.
That's right, because of the fact that because Rampage is the first show for AEW for this week, due to the fact of.
Oh no, not even that. They're extending SmackDown longer, so it's running.
Really?
It's running into Rampage. Half hour, not an hour. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't get it. But so
a full hour. It makes it a lot more sense.
they're running it an extra half hour.
So wait, so SmackDown's 2 hours, so they're gonna do it 2.5 hours. That equal to that?
I don't know. I just heard like this. I think this is a rumor, but this is what I heard. So if they're running together, and last week's, I don't know if you saw the viewership, but last week Rampage was only at a 500,000 mark.
Yes, and SmackDown was up to at least 2 mil.
Right. So everybody knew that it was going to drop dramatically since the first episode of Rampage. So I feel like that they're going to be on their level point at 500,000 viewers, maybe 600,000 viewers. But I feel like this is going to be their making breaking point this Friday with Brock Lesnar and everything else like that. If they do about their normal 500 to 600,000 views, then they should be okay. If their viewership drops, then
there goes Rampage.
Yeah.
Pretty much it would be. But my opinion, I mean, yeah, but now this gives Tony Khan some good playing field. Because now he can actually compete against Vince and change the whole Rampage card pretty much around. Like it's always said, card is due to change. He could pull out some matches or add some other matches that make them ratings go up. Now he's got that opportunity. He's able to battle Vince. But now is Vince able to bring to the table? So either way, it can make or break both of them.
Well, with Crown Jewels around the corner, you have one of the matches coming up. You have the Raw Tag Team titles going to be on the line with what is it? I can't pronounce the damn tag team because every time RK Bro, and AJ Styles and Omos, which they've been actually RK Bro's been actually really tormenting AJ and Omos.
Which I did catch that. Which I say they're going to keep their titles. Because even though it's a weird combination, and Randy's been in some weird and teamed up with some weird guys before. But him and Riddle, they do make a good tag team. They got some good chemistry. And with Randy Orton being serious and Riddle being all funny and joking, it fits. So I see them retaining and keeping their titles.
What do you think, Paul?
So it's probably going to be a back and forth match. I don't think that they're going to drop the titles to Omos and AJ. I think there might be some shenanigans that are happening to try and continue the feud, maybe. But I don't think they're dropping the titles.
I don't think either. I think because they're going to give them at least another maybe 2-3 months, and maybe give it if they don't have it going off with you think 4 months for Bio. But if they don't drop it to them, who do you think they may drop it to? You think it may be some new upcoming tag team maybe on Raw?
So Vince just tore apart the whole fucking tag division on both Raw, SmackDown.
Yeah.
So who
right
knows?
now it could be.
And then we have one of the big matches, which I'm actually looking forward to see. Edge versus Seth and Hell in a Cell, which we may see the original Edge maybe back as he was maybe back in like not 100% to where how he was back in the 90s when he did the Extreme Rules match with Christian, when it was Christian and Edge, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardys. But Paul, what do you think?
So I just hope, because the last time Rollins was in a cell, he got DQ'd. Let's just say I hope that shit doesn't happen again, because that shit was fucking ridiculous. And I know you're trying not to bust out laughing down there.
I agree what you're saying. Yep.
So, let's just say they just don't pull no shenanigans like that again. Let's just say they don't have a red light throughout the whole fucking match. And let's just say that, they actually have a good match. I mean, this is Crown Jewel. This is a mainstream pay-per-view. So, let's just hope for no indie fuck-ups. Like, a lot of indie fuck-ups happen in Saudi Arabia. Like, Triple H's pack. Both fucking concussions for
Goldberg and Undertaker.
Undertaker almost losing his life twice. Let's see, what else happened? The Super Showdown match in Australia with Triple H and John Cena. That shit was fucking horrendous. But, anything that doesn't happen in the States or Europe is an indie match. Let's just say that for right.
It is. To be honest, he is right. And this is someone who's been in and around it. But I got a funny feeling that we're going to see a side of Edge that no one actually has seen. Because the way he came out and went straight after Seth Rollins and told him a Hell in a Cell, Seth Rollins is getting destroyed. Trust me, Seth Rollins is not walking out of there. And trust me, there ain't going to be no fuck-ups because Edge is going to make sure there ain't no fuck-ups because Edge is all a part of catching that. Oh, you want to try to screw me? No. I'll screw you before you screw me. But Edge is going to come, and I think we're going to see some of the brute in him.
So I feel like after this match is said and done, since Edge is on Raw, I either A, feel like he might actually go after Big E, or B, he might actually go after a tag team title. Who knows?
Well, if he goes after a tag title, who was he going to pick or to get to be his tag team partner? Which is a good question.
A new and up-and-coming star.
Who maybe be almost just like him?
Or
similar?
Maybe someone like, so I feel like, who are they saying? Oh, so Johnny Gargano. Either A, his contract's coming up in November, and he might be going to AEW, or B, he might be doing a pull-up, and because he hasn't been seen on NXT since the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Another match that just got signed this week is Mustafa Ali versus I can't pronounce his name to save my life. I know he was the former tag team partner of Mustafa Ali due to the fact that after they lost, Mustafa told him that he was pathetic and he mainly needed him. But I got not much to say, but I think they made this match because of the fact that I think the kid is from Saudi Arabia, and I think that's going to push him over than Mustafa Ali. That's my opinion.
Well, if the kid's actually from there, then yes.
They should have never made this fucking match because they were actually a great tag team. You know, it was a good fucking team, and you know they had chemistry and everything else like that. They should have never made this fucking match, regardless.
Now, James Black, like you brought up with the New Day, like you asked about how would it been with Kofi and Xavier. Well, this is going to destroy a friendship.
Right.
This is definitely going to put a dent in the friendship because you're going to have these two guys who were a great tag team, best friends, and now you're going to have them battle it out. And they're going to make your best friend, because that's where he's from, take that win.
True.
Which, if you're going to make that match, you should just do run your whole timeout and just get a double timeout.
There you go. That would work. So, another match that's going through is the Women's Smackdown Championship triple threat with Bianca, Sasha, and the Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. So, with this going along, because this is going to depend on how the title is going to get switched over and who's going to go, how it's going to go where.
I know where it's going.
Top. Bio.
Who I want.
Who do you think is going to come on top?
Belair. I'm sorry. I'm going to be riding with Belair because Belair got done dirty after she busted her ass from ground up to get to that spot and earn that shot to win the title and won the title. Then you got someone, no disrespect, congratulations to Becky and Seth on their child, but Becky, you should have stepped back and waited. But for you to come out and give a win in 26 seconds, that was wrong. Now, Sasha coming back, yeah, I'm glad that Sasha's back, but how many times do we need to see Sasha with the belt? I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing Becky with the belt. I like Belair, and Belair showed that she was a good women's champion. So give it back.
What do you think, Paul?
So I am agreeing with Bio. I feel like Belair needs the title, but where they're going with this, you know, I don't know. Like, it's all up in the air here because there could also be interference from Charlotte and trying to, you know, make Sasha win so she can hold both belts. Who knows? But I feel like you know, Belair should win this shot and have, you know, Becky go to Raw. And what is Sasha going to Raw too, or is she staying on SmackDown?
Sasha is staying on SmackDown. Becky's going to Raw, and Belair is going to Raw. If they have Belair wins, that means Belair, and Charlotte would have to switch titles.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
So plus Sasha is staying on SmackDown, staying on SmackDown with Charlotte.
Right.
Next match, one of the other matches, that the WWE Championship match between Big E and Drew McIntyre.
As I said to this before, Drew's going to lose, Big E's going to win, and Drew's going to go into a feud with fucking, you know, Roman Reigns. That's just how it's going to be.
Well, let's do this real quick since you brought that up as well. We'll tie it into it with Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar for the Universal title as well. we tie both matches in together, and we can talk about that. It makes it a lot easier with this one, since it both plays the same way on how it goes. Because you have Brock Lesnar, who is a free agent. He didn't go in the draft, so he can go anywhere. He can wind up on NXT. He can wind up on
God.
or he can wind up on SmackDown. But can you imagine Brock Lesnar on NXT and getting the title?
No, I don't want it.
Listen, if Brock ever goes to NXT, I swear to God, that's it. That will kill WWE themselves. You just literally made Brock
I
look
would
like a
vomit in my mouth if that shit happened, even though it's colorful vomit paint shitted out from a goddamn troll. That I hate to death.
Damn! Why don't you just go out with this?
This
What?
is how I see what happened.
Like unicorn.
Paul called it. Pretty much, Paul called it. Yeah, that match between Roman and Brock is going to be a hell of a match, but there is going to be interference, and I know who's going to run the interference, and it's going to be Paul Heyman, who's going to do something. Maybe hit Brock with a low blow where Roman can do the spear or whatever. And then after that, I can see Drew out of nowhere after his match coming after Roman going, all right, I just got done through one, but I got the next one.
Well, so I feel you. I see where you're coming from with that, but I feel like Roman's gonna beat Brock clean. This is what I feel. I feel like he's gonna beat Brock clean, and then Brock is gonna have something to prove. But he's gonna have to wait his turn to get through McIntyre, and McIntyre is going to be like, "Well, I already beat you, so why do I have to prove anything to you? I'm first, plain and simple."
Exactly.
What about having to wear that? Like I get your points. You're both both valid points with that, but like I can see it maybe coming up as dirty to where the bloodline gets involved, like having Drew goes after Roman gets knocked out, and then the bloodline comes in, knocks out Brock, drags Roman's body over Brock, 1, 2, 3, goes back onto SmackDown. Drew comes out, bitching, complaining about it. Roman comes out and does his thing, and then all of a sudden Brock comes out and says, "You guys, you both done me dirty. I should have won that. Like the match was in my grasp. I should have won it." And then turns out, maybe at TLC, I'm not saying Survivor Series because Survivor Series is champion versus champion. At TLC, it'll be a triple threat match in a tables, ladders, and chairs match with Roman, Drew, and Brock.
And I find that funny because they were already hinting fucking Survivor Series at Raw. If you didn't notice,
Yeah, they did.
Even the commentator said, "Oh, Survivor Series, that's never been done before, ever." No. I'm like, oh, so they're doing this now, brand supremacy, even before the 4 weeks leading up to Survivor Series. Wow. The writers are actually going to do this? This is crazy.
It's the first time. They never done that. It usually waits until after that. As in the background, if you didn't hear that, someone yelled "desperate" in the background from me. The co-producer of the show, as I just got flipped off. But it's a lot that is going on, and WWE is fighting along, trying to get through it. But the last and final match, besides with the King and Queens, King of the Ring and Queen's Crown, is going to be determined at Crown Jewels. It's one of the biggest matches that I know a lot of us are looking forward to see how he can knock this off. Is Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley in a no holds bars match.
That's not the last match.
That's the only match that they were able to come up on the card.
No, that's the middle match. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are the last match.
It's not the last match. I'm saying the last match we had to talk about.
Oh, yeah. You made it seem like
It went. The 747 was coming in and went. It was coming in for the lane and said, "Nope, the airstrip is not clean yet."
Clean shit. And any of our minds clean?
Do you want to get Biohazard started? Because I don't. Not.
so the match.
Yes.
I feel like they're gonna do Lashley dirty. I really feel like they're gonna do Lashley dirty and push an old guy over. Like,
why do you say that he's gonna get pushed over dirty?
Why do I feel like they're gonna do Lashley dirty?
Yes.
Because they're gonna have Goldberg win in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, and
that's what the king wants. And what the king wants, the king gets.
Okay. Well, I mean, to be honest, I ain't gonna go against no king. Wait.
Exactly.
Wait. Yeah, I would. Because I'm just that psycho. I'm just that hardcore.
Well, the last time they went against the king, they were held in fucking traffic.
Air traffic.
Uh-huh.
And it had NXT come up and help out with Smackdown, which Smackdown is the next night right after Crown Jewel.
Right.
Which not all those stars who are on SmackDown for the new episode of SmackDown has to take the red eye and turn over and be ready for the next day.
Well, that's why they said 2 weeks. So,
well, the whole Bobby Lashley and Goldberg, I'm going with Goldberg. I don't care. Bobby Lashley has actually went and took it too far.
Hold on now. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
Hold on.
You should know this shit from experience, okay? This shit was a whole bullshit of a thing. If a fan comes into the fucking ring, planned or not, that fan will get his ass beat, regardless.
But no. If it's in the script, which I have been in as a plant several times, and also in it to the script. If it's scripted and which it was, Bobby Lashley took it too far. Now, if it wasn't scripted and he did that, then yeah, he deserves to get his ass beat. Because I would have done it too.
I mean, all he really did was just put him in a sleeper hold. That's it.
But if it was scripted, then it's okay. But if it wasn't, but then he gets deserved his ass off. I would. Look like how I went after Chris Hero.
I mean, sorry, folks. You know, I guess James Black is going through some. Oh, there he is.
No, what I did was I backed out because since it was you two battling on this one, it made it a lot nicer to have the background to where that looks like you're arguing with the fans. So it pretty much was a perfect opportunity for me to back out so that it can actually look like a decent one-on-one battle.
He wasn't able to play on our playground anyway. That's why he backed out. It's okay. He can't handle this. He still got his training wheels on.
You can't handle the truth. Yes, I can. Sorry.
What is the truth? We don't know.
Sorry. Got a little crazy there. Sorry. But now, Crown Jewel, we talked through it. We see how it go. I want to say this before we get off this topic, before we go to AEW, talk about the matches coming up for the Friday and Saturday night, which AEW Dynamite will be on Saturday this week, not on Wednesday, due to NBA and NHL purposes.
Yay.
For the matchup card, that you see so far, what do you give this grade? I want to get your, before we go on to it, before it comes out, what do you give a grade for that?
3 out of 5.
Okay.
Same.
I can probably agree with that. I maybe give it a 2.5 because of the fact that there's a lot they could have done more to the card.
I feel like some of the matches are going to be better than other matches, and everything's just going to be evened out.
Okay.
I'm not looking forward to the women's matches because I feel like Crown Jewel and Saudi Arabia themselves don't want them there, and they're just going to say, I don't want nothing to do with them. So make them as short as possible.
And they will be more covered than normal.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm not really worried about that shit. That's nothing. But I feel like that, the country themselves isn't evolved, and the women aren't shit. So I feel like that they're not going to have a lot of time, maybe 2 minutes at most. So I feel like that it's not going to be lackluster. I feel like it's going to be lackluster, and it's not going to be well put together.
So you think it's going to be like a squash match for either person?
Pretty much.
Okay.
If it's longer than 5 minutes, I'll be surprised.
Well, I'll make sure that you have a timer on, and I'll watch you to have you time the whole match. So, as we go back into AEW, there is a jam-packed going on this one for... Okay.
Where I need to sign off.
Okay.
So, I will talk to you guys later. Love you all, folks. I'll talk to you later. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Well, looks like he had to take some more different plans, plus I think he has to get up early for work.
True. Sorry, everybody. We were kind of running a little late.
Yes, we would have started at 8 and probably would have ended this time, but we want to try to get everything in as soon as best so you guys can watch. So, as one of the matches coming up is for the Buy-In Live, which is going to be on YouTube for tomorrow night, which is going to be Bobby Fish and Lee versus Bryan Danielson and Suzuki, which I wasn't expecting Suzuki to be in a match for AEW, which I think it's pretty cool that he's teamed with another person, but having the American Dragon up against with a New Japan Pro Wrestling legend, I think that's going to be a phenomenal match.
Well, they did work together plenty of times in New Japan and all that. Where do you think Bryan Danielson learned most of his craft?
True.
And by teaming up with just saying, I don't know, probably his teacher or what they probably call it, sensei.
True.
And this might be where he gets the chance to show his teacher or sensei or whoever or our friend, look what you taught me. Now you get to see it with your own eyes. And now we're getting to do this together.
Mm-hmm. Which I'll say this as well before I go on. It's like this show will be live in Miami, Florida, which is the home of a lot of the UFC fighters, the MMA fighters, and everything else, which this evolved this match after the battle that happened after Sammy won his title, which is the Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santinos. It looks like it's going to be UFC versus wrestling, pretty much.
God, I gotta bite my tongue on that word. What the fuck are you tangling UFC with wrestling? I understand that you can have that fighting style, but bringing these guys that does not really have any really training of being in a wrestling ring.
True.
So you're bringing these guys in, yeah, Jack Swagger or whatever. What's his name? Yeah, right.
Jack Hager.
Jack Hager. Look at Jack Hager. Yeah, I can see him surviving for a little, but taking all them on like that, left and right, no.
Because you have Jack Hager, Scorpio Sky, and like I said, the Man of the Year, and
Yeah.
I forget his other name, but with Sammy and Jericho, like, yeah, Jericho can stand up with a lot, but
These guys are about beatings. They're going to be hitting you like you never got hit before. I mean, to be honest, it's thinking out of the box. But now you're about to literally put most of your talent, especially your TNT champion, in danger. I
because
mean,
if you
Sammy.
look at it, how it went, like if you watch that beatdown that Sammy took, a lot of the guys weren't doing the punches. It was more like all open hand because of the fact that how dangerously how they trained.
It's scary.
Yeah, and mind you, even Brock had to tone down a little bit. Like, he had to step away from USC for almost a year before he even got a chance to get back into WWE because of the fact that he knows how to bust people open just with one shot, either with a punch or even with the elbow.
Look at me. Before I even got into wrestling, I did boxing. I can literally knock someone out with one punch because I know all the hit points. I used to have I used to have grown men afraid to step in the ring with me. And I'm a young age. I'm 12, saying 11 and a half, 12 years old. And I'm fighting 30, 40-year-old men. Now I'm into the business, in which I'm not afraid to fight anybody. So anybody want to go, hey, you know how to reach out? Moxley, Kingston, especially you two, please. I would love to get hit with a trash can lid again. Come on.
They will be in your area this Saturday.
Well,
this Saturday and Sunday.
Maybe if everything works out right, which I got to find out, but if everything works out, I might just be there. Be prepared. Biohazard's coming.
Kingston, Moxley, keep your ears out. You better keep your eyes out, too, because then you guys come to the crowd. You may pass them.
I'm going to throw it out there each time until it gets heard. Moxley, Kingston, I am willing to step in the ring. I am willing to sign a waiver if I get hurt. It's all on me. Just on one condition that I ask for you and Kingston to come on our podcast and at least do one interview. After that, I will sign my own death certificate for you so you can do whatever.
So you're hoping for a handicap match?
I don't care as long as I get that interview.
So another match that's going down is Ruby Soho versus the Bunny, which Soho has been really good access with AEW ever since coming to them, and the Bunny has actually improved a lot since when she first started.
Yes,
They're both talented wrestlers, and it's hard to pick who you want to win that match. Like, I love Bunny's skills and style, how she puts it out there, but being a person who was a WCW person, which now was bought out by WWE, I'm pretty much was following Ruby when she was with the WWE and seeing how her style was and everything, and how she wrestled. It was more of that kick your ass, then sign your death certificate, then ask you the questions.
To be honest, what I would like to see how that match, the way I would really want to see that match end, is both of them with a double count out or a time runs out. because it will be a good way to show because they're both coming up and they're coming up right.
Mm-hmm.
So by them saying, because they're both young in AEW still, so let them literally bring it out where they just battle it out, and at the end, then you can run a line with them and saying, "Oh yeah, this, and this." No, well, how can you say this when clearly you didn't beat me?
True. It's the same thing how with Brian Danielson. Sorry, I keep saying Daniel Bryan because it's a bad habit due to the fact that, yes, I did grow up with him with WWE. That's how I known him as. It's the same thing how Bio is with Malachi Black, with how he was Minister Black and Aleister Black. So it's kind of hard to say their newer name when you're so used to seeing them as another name. But another match that's going down is CM Punk versus Matt Sidle or Saddle, however you want to pronounce his last name.
I don't know who that dude is, and I can tell you right now, CM Punk, yo, dude, you might as well just say, no, I can't make it. Play sick. Call up Tony and be like, because CM Punk is going to make sure you go to sleep. And CM Punk, please hear this. Next time you hit someone with a GTS, please leave an ice cream bar next to them. I would love to see you leave a ice cream bar next to them or on top of them after you hit them with the GTS.
You know what? You know what you should do. He should do as well. Since he's in Miami, maybe we should. I know, Punk. You don't drink and everything else, but he may need it after you knock him out and all. Why don't you leave him a nice cold glass of a margarita for him right next to him, so that at least if he wakes up, he can nurse that headache or hangover that you give him with that nice knee to the head.
Well, it could be a non-alcoholic margarita too.
There you go. And hey,
but I still want to see the ice cream bar. I feel that will be so funny. And this is coming from a fan. I will find it so funny. So Punk, if you can watch it, or anybody who is operated or connected to Punk, please let him read this or hear this or whatever. I want to see an ice cream bar next to someone he puts to sleep.
And one thing I want to bring up is I want to bring this up since I wish I brought it up when Paul was on, but AJ Lee is back in the wrestling business. She is part of back at the revamping of WOW, which is Women of Wrestling. She is the executive producer and color commentary of WOW, which I think it's phenomenal to see her back in the business, as same with how her husband is, CM Punk. But I would love to see her back in the ring at some point because of the fact that AJ retired young, as we all know, for several reasons. But I would love to see AJ wrestle one more time. Instead of being a tag team match with Paige against the Bellas, have it to where that maybe her final title match for any title she won. I will say one, even if the AEW isn't the new TBS or even Impact's the X Division titles.
There is one person I would love for that one match, and you'll probably agree, probably disagree, but hey, I would love to see AJ Lee one-on-one with Ruby Soho.
I see Ruby Soho.
They pretty much got the same fighting style, crazy style, the whole gothic style, and everything.
I see either Ruby Soho. Yes, I know I keep pushing her because she's actually one of my favorite female wrestlers. How she's going, Ty Conti, because of Conti's style of how it's almost similar to AJ's a little bit, or even maybe going after the DMD, Dr. Britt Baker.
Now, wow, that would be hot. I would love to see that too.
Because if they're going after Dr. Britt Baker, which you have to say at the end, the DMD, she has that persona of how being a badass, being the one that's the hard ass of where she's number one, she's better than everybody. She has a doctorate degree. Why not add in AJ, the woman who actually can get pushed, who pushed through and that been through that badass and knows how to kick ass, then take your number and win.
True.
So even I would love to see her just come in and just say, the women's title is mine. You can't win this anymore. It's my title. But to finish up before we run out of time for us is another match with Dynamite, which is going to be on Saturday nights, like I said, due to the fact of NHL and NBA purposes. You have Dayton Martin versus Malachi Black, which he accepted the match on Wednesday night Dynamite in Philadelphia. I hope Dayton knows that he's not going to see it coming like he did with the Black Miss and the kick to the back of the skull, which it says, like you said on the bottom, cars subject to change because you never know what's going to happen. And then they have another match going on with Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish, which is WWE versus WWE from NXT, which Bryan Danielson and Bobby Fish never versed each other in the WWE, which is going to be a really good. I think that's going to be a really good match right there for Saturday night.
Uh-huh. Now, the other match you were talking about.
The Dayton Martin versus Malachi Black?
Yeah. Actually, I want to weigh in on that one.
Okay, go for it.
All right. I don't see Malachi Black winning.
Why is that?
I got a funny feeling that a certain someone or certain someones are going to come back for revenge. I can see Cody and Dustin coming out and doing whatever it needs to take, and they're going to help put the over. Or cause both of them the match, the disqualification where Cody and Dustin roll on Malachi. Because, to be honest, they're pushing Malachi way, way too much right now. And it's been, what, about 2-3 months?
About that.
About 2-3 months, and you're pushing him way too much in that period of time that you actually had him take out the whole Nightmare family.
Yeah.
Now, okay, taking out a family stable, which was the best move, a good way to push yourself, the show. But now, how much are you going to push this guy? When is he going to get his first loss? He needs it. So this might be his first loss, and I can see Cody causing it. Or Dustin. Or who knows, maybe Art.
I don't see Art. If I can see maybe Art maybe blocking Cody, because if you saw the promo that they cut at the Rhodes Mansion, that he took his jacket, burned it, took his tie, burned it, to where that he even Ernst brought up and said, how you're acting like a fool so much? Why don't you just put a star on your face? Bringing up Stardust.
Yeah, but
So-
here's the thing. But you got to remember, though,
Hmm.
Art Anderson is a what? Was a what? Exactly. How does them four horsemen operate? So
They kick ass
maybe,
and take
but
numbers
look
later.
though, but look, Art might have did all that. How do you know that it ain't a story play where Art will come out and it will look like he's going to screw over whoever, but really he will turn around and come out and screw Malachi. And no one, to be honest, who would expect that? I
True.
wouldn't as a fan. I mean, wait, Art, we just saw Art did all this and said all this. But wait, he just came out and just low blowed Malachi or hit Malachi, and next minute Cody and Dustin come out and roll on him.
True.
Who would I wouldn't expect it.
No. So last one of the final matches is a tag team match for the actually it's for the AAA Tag Team Championship with the Lucha Brothers, which are the AAA and the AEW World Tag Team Champions, against it's going to be a masked tag team, which known only by the close friends of Andrade. Which, who do you think? I'm just saying, who do you think is the tag team? Do you think maybe one of them maybe could be Sin Cara? As the mask, as saying as the masked.
But who would have been Sin Cara's partner?
That's the question. It's someone from the Triple A, which I'm not big. I don't know much of who's in the Triple A. But who would also be a masked figure? Because you know it's not Ray.
But here's the thing: once if these masked tag team that are coming, maybe these. Let me rephrase that. Maybe it's these new. There could be a new tag team coming into AAA.
Maybe.
And if they are, I mean, the only ones that I could be close to are the ones that go Ole. The ones that had the little bull.
Oh, you're talking about Primo and Epico.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
That's what you think it is. Possibly could be.
It could be. I mean, but then again, I don't know how Andrade. To be honest, I don't follow him like that, so I don't know where his connections go far to.
Well, what makes it harder, because if you know a lot of the luchador, like it's a luchador wrestling, there's a lot of masked figures that it makes it hard to know, because you had Dragon, you have El Domingo, you have a lot of these guys who are all masked, so you don't know who it is.
Exactly.
Like I'm looking at the list, and it's like I can't even think who would it be. Like, do you even have one that looks like he's dressed up as a Power Ranger a little bit?
And that's the thing with the luchadors; it's unexpected. Who knows? It might be two different guys coming in as a tag team.
Right. Because it could be a newer group that we could be. If you're introducing some ones that we never know, or who knows, maybe these guys are from the Lucha Underground that we may have seen before in WWE, but we just don't remember them.
Or it could just be, to be honest, it could be anything. All I want to know is we got to follow it because I want to see what happens. Because whoever Andrade is managing this masked tag team, they're going to probably be hot. Because look at Andrade. He's good. He's good all around. He's good on the mic. He's good in the ring. And he can make a good friggin' manager. And especially him being part of the Flyers now. that he has to live up to a certain reputation, and so far he's been living up to it. Look at all the respect he's getting from Rick. And Rick don't give you that respect like that unless you're really showing something or you're earning it.
Plus, even with him getting rid of Chavo Guerrero Jr., like that was a shocker that he got rid of him.
Yep. And because it was Rick. Rick turned around and said, if you want to be success and you really want to be success, I know it's all pretty much under my like name in a way, because that's what they're saying as, but I'm not going to treat you as that. I'm going to treat you as who you are. But if you want that and you want the help along the way, then you have to drop Chavo. He goes, Chavo's not best. You're best at what you do. And Andrade took the advice and dropped him.
Right.
And to be honest, Andrade needs to be where he's at. He's good what he's doing. And if this match, I mean, even if the Lucha Brothers lose, which I hope they don't, but I don't know how long they kept them for. So if they lose, congratulations to the new tag team or congratulations to the Lucha Brothers. But I think it's going to be a phenomenal match.
Yeah, it's going to be one hell of a match because you know how they wrestle. They are one of the best champions, best tag team champions out there. Because come on, they were Impact champions. They are now they've been Major League champions. They were Pro Wrestling, Gorilla World Tag Team champions. They were the Crash Tag Team champions. No matter what, they have lived up to their name of being best tag teams in the world. But
there's only going to be one tag team, one greatest number one tag team all around in the world, and there's not going to be no tag team in whatsoever going to be able to beat them.
Who is that?
LOD. They're the only tag team that held every single tag title in every promotion that existed. And most of them promotions don't exist no more, so what tag team now can go after them? Can't.
So with that tag team going on, they actually been holding the tag team since 2019 for the AAA tag team title. So they held that title for almost over 2 years.
Well, maybe this is time for Andrade's tag team. No, maybe. I mean, come on now. I can see the Lucha Brothers actually willing to pass down the torch if you really deserve it.
True.
If we feel that you deserve it, we don't have a problem knocking it to you. But if you're not deserve it, then guess what? We'll do our match, but that means get your ass back in the line, get some more work in, then come and see us in a few months or in a year or two.
As we're going to try to speed through this a little bit because of the fact that of the timing. One thing that they're going to be announcing on this week's Dynamite, the World Title Eliminator Tournament, which is going to be multiple different people, which I think Moxley is going to be one of them, with Daniel Bryan, and a few others going to be determining who's going to be the next AEW champion, who's going to burst up against Omega if he's still champion after going up against Kenny Omega. I don't know if he's going up against them for this week or it's going to be at some other time, which makes sure for Full Gear, you actually get a chance to watch it live on the pay-per-view on November 13th at 8 p.m., which is on a Saturday for Full Gear, which I am looking forward to how that match will go because of the fact that they're probably going to hold the last of the TBS title for the women's and so on and so forth. For that one, I know we talked about it before. Who do you think is going to be who's going to make it to the top of that? Could it be Punk? You think it's going to be Punk? Daniel? Do you think it's going to be maybe another guy coming up? Maybe Jericho or Moxley getting a chance at the title again?
No, this is what I'm trying to predict it. And what I'm predicting is it's going to come down to 3 left. 3 left. It's going to come down to Punk, Bryan, and Moxley. And I see whoever out of them 3, but to be honest, I don't see Moxley because he's already doing his own thing. But I see him, the only reason being a part of that is just to get these guys to more hyped up, more back into the shape, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see it coming down to Punk and Bryan. That's the last final 2.
If you had to choose one of them, who do you choose to become that number 1 contender to go up against Omega and possibly maybe taking that title off of Omega?
Well, so far, I mean, I would like to see Punk because Punk's been in there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Punk should get a title shot. But the way Daniel Bryan came in and he made a clear statement, I see it being Daniel Bryan and Omega.
That would be a very good matchup with that one. And hopefully it comes out like even with the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, which it should be coming up at some point. They talked about it and they got a contract with the Hart family to be able to do it. Hope they are talks about maybe Punk. It should be a Punk and Omega match. Could be coming up with that one in the tournament because Omega's already said that he's supposed to be in the tournament with that, and that means it's a possibility he could be losing the AEW title. Maybe hint right there. But Punk said he would love to have a match with Omega at that tournament, a 30-minute match. So maybe Hangman gets the title or someone else does. Who knows? You never know in the world of wrestling. Anything can go and dream matches can happen. Without further ado, is there anything else you want to bring up before we sign off?
Well, just a few little things again. Please, Moxley, Kingston. Please, use her to 2 close.
What's going on? Surprise.
A surprise pop-up from Paul Miller.
Hello again, guys.
Right at the end.
I know, right?
A surprise appearance at the end somehow, some way.
But it's good, though. But like I'm going to say before we close off, please, Kingston, Moxley, I'm dead serious. I got 2 of the guys on here that would tell you I'm not joking. Am I joking?
No.
About what?
Getting in the ring with Moxley and Kingston in any type of match they want, as long as they do an interview on our podcast.
I mean, no, you're not, but hopefully my connections come through.
Well, hey, they do, but still, I'm going to keep doing it because I just still want to get in the ring with them. Yes, I'm that psychotic that I want to get in the ring with them. And again, Punk, please, next time you hit someone with the GTS, please leave an ice cream bar next to them. Or on top of them.
That would be
Paul, come on, wouldn't you like to see that?
That would be fucking hilarious.
See? Come on now. Am I good or what?
And we actually do have a sponsor I never said to you guys. which is a little surprise, which is my own wife's business, which is the it's been so long since we actually talked about the business. Is the more glitter. It tells you how long it's been since we actually kind of talked about this.
Glitter Fantastic.
It's more Glitter Fantastic by Color.
I'm the one that came up the name.
Yes. But Glitter More Fantastic is our first sponsor that we gotten, and we know there's females who love wrestling, everything else, but they love getting their nails done. If you want to get your nails done, look her up on Facebook. You'll find out all the information that you need to order and the website to go on to check it out. So it's More Glitter Fantastic by Color Street. And as we go through, since Paul, you did come back at one of the times, and I wish you were up here when we talked about the world title eliminator coming up that they're going to announce for the tournament in Full Gear. Bio gave out his opinion. He thinks it's going to lead down to Moxley, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson. Sorry. It's a habit. Bad habit. But who do you think maybe the top three is going to be down to where that it could lead to going up against Omega?
Do you mean going against Hangman?
Hangman, Omega, whoever it is.
No. Hangman. Fuck that. You know, Kenny's dropping a fucking belt. I don't want to hear it. So going against Hangman, I feel like any one of those three would be amazing. But what I would love to see is Hangman and fucking CM Punk. I would love to see that match, but I'm never going to see that match. So, because he's still in his prime, Bryan Danielson.
I can see that. And mind you, I even said it down the line with this where if it's, plus I even said it, CM Punk even not mentioned it, and so did a little bit of Kenny, but with the Owen Hart tournament coming up, Omega kind of hinted that he won't have the title and that he's going to be entering that tournament. CM Punk wants to have it to where that it leads up to him and Omega in the ring for 30 minutes in that tournament.
I really feel like that CM Punk's not in it for the title.
Right.
I feel like he's not in it for the title. I don't feel like he should, or he even wants to be the title. So I feel like, he might just let, Bryan Danielson win it or anything else like that. Any other new and up-and-comer. Now, whether or not, we get a glimpse of the greedy and selfish Punk, who knows? It is what it is. But I don't think he is going to go after a title right now.
So you don't think Punk's going to ever hold a title ever again?
Not ever again, just not right now.
Okay. You heard it here, folks. It's not. It's maybe you. I think like you put it, maybe it's going to be like a year or so before he wins his first title.
Yeah,
Might be longer than that. Who knows? It all depends. Because the way I say it, it looks like Punk's trying to build himself back up.
True.
And he's saying, yeah, I am champion material, but I'm not ready to be that champion material. Let me do these matches and get myself, like pretty much saying, let me be hell. Everybody else comes in the door. You work from the bottom up.
Exactly.
And that's what Punk always does.
It looks like for that red light, you remind me of a damn manager from WWE. Oh, you feel the love.
You funny.
But anyway, as the sign off as it goes, thank you everybody for watching for our show. Please share, like, and blast us all throughout. We are, like I said, we're on Facebook, Twitter. We have a Facebook page and a group page where the group page you can actually start mingle with other fans, get their opinion on how things are going, and make sure you follow our like page because of the fact that that's where most of the news is going to be at.
And on YouTube, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That will help us out in the long run. That will help us beat the YouTube algorithm and make us, be able to be watched by other people around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Please, please, please. Thank you for watching.
Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy, and we'll see you next week. And we'll let you know what time, because then we all have busy schedules. So have a good night, everybody. See you later.
Good night.